Hey there, today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to assemble a clarinet correctly. And when I say correctly, so that you don't damage the instrument while you put it together. So if you're a beginner, this is especially going to be helpful, and it's just going to be a good review for those who've been playing for a while. There is more than one way to put it together, but there are a couple things you need to keep in mind to keep from damaging the instrument. So let's go ahead and look at the clarinet, and we'll just go step by step and put the clarinet together, and then we'll take it apart. So here you have the clarinet. Clarinet has 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the mouthpiece, and 5 right there. Now the first thing you'll want to do is you want to take the cork grease that comes with your clarinet, and you want to take some cork grease and go to the cork on each part of the clarinet, which is this kind of brownish part right here. It's actual cork. And the reason for this is you don't want to have to strain or anything when you twist the parts together. And this actually is a very, very important step. And the reason is because many times if you avoid this, you get in a rush and the corks are real tight, then a lot of times you'll overstress twisting it together, and suddenly you bend something, which is not what you want to do. So let's talk a little bit about your clarinet. This is the lower joint of the clarinet, and on the lower joint, just briefly, these little dealy bops over here, see if I can get this a little better. These are called levers, and the things right here that look like rings, guess what? They're called rings. And the rings are actually important, as you'll see here in a second. And this is called the upper joint of the clarinet. And on the upper joint, you'll notice again, you have these rings here, and you'll notice they move, okay? And while I have this apart like this, see if I can get this so you can actually see it. There's a piece right here that moves up and down when I push on these rings. Maybe you can see it better here. This is extremely important when you put the clarinet together, as you will see in a second, because we're going to actually open it so that bar, we call it a bridge key, is actually up when you put it together. So let's start right there. This is the upper joint of the instrument. It's not all that important that you know what it is, just how it works when you put it together. So what I do, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put this in the palm of my left hand, just like that. And you'll notice again, and I'm stressing this, there's the little bridge key that goes up and down, just like that, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze on the rings, and I'm going to make sure that this stays open. And at the same time, I'm going to grab the other part of the clarinet, the lower joint, and I'm going to squeeze on these rings here, and I can actually put it in the palm of my hand. And when I do that, you'll notice this one stays down, this one's up, and when I bring it together, I do a twisting motion. See if I can get that so you can see it. There you go. Okay, so when I put the lower joint, this one, in the palm of my hand, I'm just holding it firmly. You don't have to squeeze hard, and the reason you don't have to is because we put cork grease on the joints of the instrument, so it should go together really nice and smoothly. So now, believe it or not, that's the hardest part. So you have 2 more parts to the main body of the instrument. One is called the barrel. Here's what the barrel looks like, just like that. And this goes on this part of the clarinet, the upper joint. And what you do is, again, you twist it till it comes all the way together, just like that. You shouldn't have any gap in there. Okay, so again, it's a twisting motion till it comes all the way together. Now we're at the bottom of the clarinet. You can see you're kind of like an orphan here. You have a clarinet that's almost together except for the bottom part, which is called the bell. And I'll try not to block this for you. Okay. So again, clarinet in the palm of my hand, and I'm just holding down on these rings, and I take this bell and just small twisting motion, and I bring that together just like that. Again, there's no gap here. Okay, so if you look back here, you'll see we almost have the clarinet totally together. One more part, and that is the mouthpiece, which I've saved for last. And the mouthpiece is what you blow on. It actually, mouthpiece will have a cap which protects the mouthpiece. And you have what is called a ligature right here, the silver there. And that holds the reed, which actually vibrates when you blow, and that's what makes the sound. And I'll have another video that will just show you a real easy and predictable way of dealing with the mouthpiece and the reed and all that good stuff. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the mouthpiece, again, I'm holding it right at the top here. See if you can see that. So I have it firm, and then again I'm twisting just like that. There you go. If I want to put a little icing on the cake, I put that ligature there and I put the little cap there. Now you have your clarinet totally assembled. So now we've got the clarinet together, and you've played on it for a while, and now it's time to go ahead and take it apart and put it back in its case. Now, it's important to take it apart for a number of reasons when you're finished playing. Now, this is a wood clarinet. Wood expands and contracts, and it's very susceptible to change in temperature, so it's a protection for the wood of the clarinet, but also too, it's you don't want anything dropping it or anything like that, because it can chip the wood. So all that being said, the first thing you do, you start at the top and you take the mouthpiece cap and reed off, and you hold the clarinet right here, right at the top at the barrel, and you grab that mouthpiece just like this. Notice how I'm doing it, and you just twist it off. See, just small little twist, just like that. And you put it back in its cap, and just like so. Next, you just go down. You hold this joint, which is the upper joint, and you just put it in the palm of your left hand. And remember, we talked about the rings, putting it together. Notice right here, see if I'm getting this right so you can see that, yeah, there you go. You see how that ring popped up? You squeeze it so that ring is up, and then you are going to take two pieces off. This top piece, which is the barrel, you notice I'm just twisting that just like so. Put that back in the case. And I haven't let go of the clarinet yet, and I just now go to the bottom joint of the instrument, which is here. And I put my hand over it, over the rings, and just hold on, just, firmly, but you don't have to squeeze. And then you just twist. See what I'm doing? And it'll just come right apart. And then this goes in there. One more piece to go. And that is the bell, the bottom of the instrument right here. And so, you guessed it, hand, palm, and the lower joint in the palm of your hand, and you just squeeze over the rings here, and you can squeeze firmly and then twist. Twisting action is very, very important. And you take the bell off. You never want to be pushing straight in, directly in, because what that does is that torques this joint right here, and if you're super strong, you can break that joint, and you don't want to do that. And so there you have it. Your clarinet is apart, and it's ready to be put in its case until you pick it up and play it again.